We have number 2, Brooks Keaton. Number 8, Easton Cole. Number 26, Paxton Payne. Number 3, Liam Davis. Number 21, Wyatt Smith. Number 22, Matt Smith. Number 99, Shai DeMoss. Number 6, Madden Watson. Number 18, Mason Myers. Number 1, Jackson Perry. Number 5, Corbin Johnson. Number 12, Hunter Casey. And now for your home team, Capital Midwestern. We have number 13, Carter Barton. Number 23, Espen Taylor. Number 30, Reese Abshire. 00, Owen Johnson. Number 24, Jacob Enoch. Number 99, River Ramsey. Number 4, Kyler White. Number 9, Jacqueline Ellis. Number 6, Cam Williams. Number 3, Cookie Porco. Number 7, Max Falbo. Number 25, Jackson Mullins. We also need to give some recognition to their coaches out there who worked hard all season. So if I can get you, ladies and gentlemen, to please stand up. We're going to do the Little League Pledge. I trust in God. I love my country and will respect its laws. I will play fair and strive to win. But win or lose, I will always do my best. Play ball.
And we welcome you to Huntington Little League for Game 2 of this Tuesday night. It is Tuesday night, isn't it? Edition of the 2025 West Virginia 8-10 Baseball State Tournament here at Huntington Little League, and it is the losers bracket final in the herd bracket of this state tournament, and it pits Barboursville against Capital Midwestern. Good evening again, everybody. Randy Payton, Rick Marone, happy to have you along from Huntington Little League as tournament coverage continues here on Video Productions. And Rick, we saw Bridgeport advance in the opening game in the the losers bracket final, I should say, in the Mountaineer bracket. Now it's the herd bracket, and Capital Midwestern, who posted a come-from-behind win with 2 in the 6th yesterday to defeat Madison, but they've got their hands full. They're taking on a Barboursville team that, as we said, is always one of the state's top powers, and they also happen to be about 25 minutes from here.
Yeah, and they'll have a big crowd here, I think, supporting them. And, Randy, they got nipped 4-3 by Jefferson in that final of the winners bracket that pushed them into the losers bracket final. Had a day off yesterday. We were talking before we went on the air. Plenty of arms available for Barboursville. Again, I think critical for Capital Midwestern. We were here last night, saw them pull out a dramatic victory in the last inning. How much gas is in the tank, because you're in the tank with the Tiger tonight because Barboursville's coming ready to play.
The winner of this game will get Cerrito Canova in the championship bracket tomorrow in the 5:30 game tomorrow. And tell you what, if it does turn out, by the way, to be Barboursville and Cerrito Canova, with a District 1 league hosting the state tournament and 2 District 1 teams squaring off in one of the 2 semifinal contests, it could be a massive crowd here tomorrow night, but Barboursville's got to get the job done tonight.
That's exactly right. And Capital Midwestern may be riding that magic. They trailed pretty much all the game last night in Central Greenbrier, and then in that last inning, Randy found a way. And that's all you got to do tonight. 1 pitch at a time, 1 out at a time, and find a way.
Barboursville starting lineup. Brooks Keaton, the pitcher, will lead off. Easton Cole, the center fielder, bats second. Paxton Payne, the shortstop, hits third. Liam Davis, the third baseman, will bat fourth. Hitting fifth in right field is Wyatt Smith. Hitting sixth in right field is Matt Smith. Matt Smith at second base. I'm trying to count here. 2, 4, 6. Matt Smith will hit sixth and play second base. Shai DeMoss, the first baseman, bats seventh. Hitting eighth and catching is Madden Watson. Batting ninth is Mason Myers, an extra hitter. Jackson Perry, an extra hitter, will hit 10th. Corbin Johnson, the left fielder, will bat 11th. And Hunter Casey, the extra hitter, will hit 12th. And they will do so at games beginning against the offerings of Owen Johnson, who we saw in a couple positions, mainly at first base last night.
And to correct myself, Madison is who Capital Midwestern knocked off last night in the dramatic fashion.
Brooks Keaton to lead it off for Barboursville, a right-handed hitter. Owen Johnson's first delivery is a called strike, and we're underway. Set the defense for you for Capital Midwestern here in just a second. Johnson's second delivery bounces up there, 1-1. Taylor at first, Ramsey second, Williams at short, Abshire at third. That's the infield for Capital Midwestern. 1-1 pitch is a called strike 2. Porco in left, Enoch in center, Mullins in right, Barton catching, and the aforementioned Owen Johnson on the hill. The 1-2 is a swing and a miss, and Brooks Keaton is gone on strikes for out number 1 here in the top half of first. It'll bring up the center fielder, Easton Cole. Barboursville a first-round bye, then they defeated Madison before, as Rick said, falling to Jefferson in the winner's bracket final of the Herd bracket. That pitch in the dirt and to the backstop, ball 1. For Capital Midwestern, they defeated Shady Spring in their tournament opener, lost to Jefferson, then defeated Belington Barber, and the come-from-behind win over Madison last night. Ball on a strike. Beautiful night for baseball. 1-1 pitch. Bounces up there, 2-1. Barboursville in those red pinstripe white uniforms with red sleeves. Capital Midwestern in the dark pants, the black pants with the gray top trimmed in royal blue. Pitch misses, 3 balls and a strike to Easton Cole. Johnson sets at the belt, and he throws the 3-1, and it's a swing and a miss. Big cut by Cole, but he came up empty, and the count now runs full at 3-2. Johnson's payoff, and it misses wide, ball 4, and Cole draws a 1-out walk. So the inning will continue for the shortstop, Paxton Payne.
And you mentioned earlier, Randy, ideal conditions. Field's in great shape, and weather looks great. I think a little bit less muggy. I'm not going to go out on a limb there, but
you can work up a sweat, but it's still a nice night. And that pitch gets through the catcher, Barton, and back to the backstop, and on to second will go Easton Cole. And just like that, he's in scoring position on a wild pitch. And it's a 1-0 count to Paxton Payne. And now Johnson steps off and just as quickly steps back on. Working out of the stretch, glove hand on left hip. Now he comes set at the belt, and he delivers and misses high as he tosses it over the catcher, and the runner again will break for third, and he's in there. So Johnson working himself into a bit of a pickle and of his own doing.
Yeah, got the first batter out with the strikeout, and then now a man on third and behind in the count.
2 balls, no strikes. Swing and a miss. Payne got the green light, but came up empty on a pitch up and in, and it's 2-1. Fouled back, and it levels at 2-2. We talked about it in our Game 1 broadcast, and as you look out, I don't know, probably an hour or so drive down for the folks from Capital Midwestern. Barboursville's got the close trip. CK folks are here watching as well. Nice crowd on hand for Game 2.
Yep, great crowd, and I'm sure a few tuning in on the live stream.
2-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Good comeback by Owen Johnson as he retires Paxton Payne on strike swinging, and now we'll square off with Liam Davis, a runner at third and 2 out. Davis, the Barboursville third baseman and a right-handed hitter. Bouncing up there and a good stop on the backhand pick by the shortstop, or the catcher rather, Barton. One-0 pitch from Johnson. Swung on and fouled back into the netting, and it's 1-1. One ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Top half of inning number 1. Barboursville with a runner at third, threatening to take an early lead. Johnson trying to set him aside. Misses. 2 balls and a strike. Home plate umpire's got 2-0 is what he raised, but it's 2-1. There you go. Outside, 3-1. Should Davis reach and extend the inning, Wyatt Smith, the right fielder, would bat next. Johnson again comes set, and he pitches. And it misses inside, ball 4. So he has struck out 2, and now he has walked 2. Barboursville with runners at the corners, and it'll be the aforementioned right fielder, Wyatt Smith. Left-handed stick settling in to square off against Owen Johnson. Bounces it up there through the catcher. Here comes the runner to the plate, and he'll beat the tag. Easton Cole slides in, and at the same time, it was Davis going to second, and while they looked to see what the play was at the plate, Davis kept right on going and motors around to third.
Yeah, aggressive base running on the wild pitch, and not only get the runner in, but then move the next runner up to third. And got to be careful for Capital Midwestern. You can't afford another pass ball or wild pitch.
So Barboursville still without a hit, but now with a 1-0 lead. Swing and a foul tip, and it's a ball and a strike. They have gotten to Johnson in the first. They are also in the process of running his pitch count up. About to throw number 23 here in the first inning. There's a strike, and it's 1-2. Johnson trying to get out of the inning with only the 1 run allowed. Strike away from doing so. Now steps off. Back on. peering in for the sign as he wipes the sweat away from his face, and now he sets and pitches and misses inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And now the ball getting away and the runner coming home from third. And Barboursville with now a 2-0 lead. And I'm wondering, did the catcher, did his bare hand make contact with the bat as he was trying to throw the ball back to the pitcher, and that's why it got away? They're coming down the line to check on the...
Well, it looks like they're looking at his glove hand, I think, his left hand. I don't want to speculate, but
Carter, yeah, he is. He is flexing his left hand. Carter Barton is the Capital Midwestern catcher. Nonetheless, Davis is home from third. That'll be an error that allows him to score, and it's a 2-0 ball game. Two balls and 2 strikes, the count to Wyatt Smith. Barboursville very opportunistic here in the first inning. Outside, full count. Matt Smith, the second baseman, would bat next if Wyatt Smith is able to keep things going. Payoff pitch from Johnson. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Johnson records 3 strikeouts in the inning, but Barboursville gets 2 runs, and they do so without the aid of a hit. There was 1 error in the inning for Capital Midwestern, and nobody left on base. We're in the middle of inning number 1 here in Huntington. It is Barboursville 2, and Capital Midwestern coming to bat. It's the 2025 West Virginia 8-10 Baseball State Tournament from Video Productions.
Before you hit the Hatfield-McCoy trails, fuel up the way West Virginians do at Little General Stores. We're proud to be part of your ride. Rooted in West Virginia and built for the back roads. Little General Stores. Fuel your adventure the West Virginia way.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
At Polka Valley, we offer a full suite of conventional, government, and West Virginia housing loan products, strong construction loans, and 100% financing to qualified applicants. Visit us online or call us today. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Barboursville jumps out to a 2-0 first inning lead, and now Capital Midwestern gets its turn to swing the bat, and they will do so against right-hander Brooks Keaton. Barboursville traditionally loaded with all kinds of kids that can pitch. I'm not sure what their pitching situation is going into the game tonight. I think we were told between games they had two guys that were ineligible. Everybody else was, and if it's your typical Barboursville team, usually every one of them can pitch.
Yeah, and I tell you, when you think about it, Randy, when you come into an all-star setting and you have all-star teams, a lot of these players, of course, they're dispersed during the regular season, so you can have some depth in pitching because you got guys that have pitched regular season, could be quality pitchers. They move into the all-star setting, and you got guys that are probably playing different positions that are also very good on the mound, so that's normally been the MO with Barboursville. They'll have the depth, but we'll see how it plays out.
Capital Midwestern lineup, Carter Barton, the catcher, will lead off. Espen Taylor, the first baseman, bats second. Reese Abshire, the third baseman, will hit third. Owen Johnson, the pitcher, fourth. Jacob Enoch, the center fielder, bats fifth. River Ramsey hits sixth and plays second base. Kyler White's an extra hitter. He'll bat seventh. Hitting eighth, another extra hitter in Jacqueline Ellis. Cam Williams, an extra hitter, will bat ninth. Cookie Porco, the left fielder, hits 10th. Max Falbo, an extra hitter, bats 11th, and the right fielder, Jackson Mullins, will bat 12th. Carter Barton will lead it off.
Number 13, Carter Barton.
Barton, a right-handed hitter. See if he's got that hand injury taken care of as he leads off for the first time here in inning number 1. Keaton will work out of the stretch, despite the fact there's nobody on base, and he'll deal a strike. Some pitchers these days want to do it that way.
Noticed that throughout the tournament. A lot of pitchers more comfortable in that setting or in that stance.
0-1 pitch from the right-hander Keaton's a swing and a miss. Very quickly, it's 0-2. As we said, the winner of this one gets Cerrito Canova, and there are specks of green down there in the bleachers watching anxiously to see who comes out of this one with the victory. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Barton, to be followed by Taylor and Abshire here in the first. Swing and a miss. So Barton has gone on strikes. And that'll bring up Espen Taylor, the first baseman.
Who has to have the name of the tournament in my book.
I would agree. If you mentioned, or if you missed it last night, Espen, his first name, spelled E-S-P-N. Pitch to him. Outside, ball 1. Set the Barboursville defense for you here in just a second. Taylor skips out of the way, 1-1. DeMoss at first, Smith second, Payne short, Davis third. Johnson in left, Cole in center, Smith in right, with Watson catching and Keaton pitching. 2-0 pitch misses, ball 3. I should point out that it is Matt Smith at second base and Wyatt Smith in right field. Lights on here at Huntington Little League. And the 3-0 pitch is high. Ball 4.
Good job from Taylor being patient at the plate, working the pitch count, and then laying off that high fastball, and gets a base runner on for Capital Midwestern.
Reese Abshire, the third baseman, will settle in. Keaton delivers. Called strike. Swung on and lifted up and out of play to the right, actually ricocheting off the netting attached to the backstop. 0-2. Keaton's 0-2 pitch misses high and wide. 1-2. Abshire all the while waiting in that batter's box. Pitch to him. Strike 3 called on the outside edge. Looked from our vantage point to be a little too wide, but strike 3 the call nonetheless, and Abshire caught looking for out number 2.
Tough pitch right on the outside, painted the corner out there and got the call, and big out. Big out for Barboursville.
Here's Owen Johnson, the pitcher. Replay don't lie. Call strike. Taylor drew a one-out walk after Barton struck out, but the Abshire strike out. Now sets up Johnson here at the plate. It's 1 ball and 1 strike.
The lights are on here at Huntington Little League.
Kind of a subdued crowd.
It is
right
rather
now.
subdued. I was going to say that, but didn't want to.
This one swung on and hit in the air to left. Johnson drawing a bead on it. He'll make the catch. And the side is retired. For Capital Midwestern, no runs, no hits, no errors. They leave 1. We played 1 complete. It's Barboursville 2 and Capital Midwestern nothing. This is the 2025 West Virginia 810 Baseball State Tournament from Video Productions.
Trojan Landing Marine is now Charleston's newest power sports dealership. We now carry Segway side-by-sides, Royal Enfield, and Benelli motorcycles. Royal Enfield has been making motorcycles for over 120 years. At Trojan Landing, our Segway sport and utility vehicles all start under $20,000, and all of our bikes are under $10,000. We have a wide selection of helmets, clothing, riding gear, and more. We're now your water, road, and dirt dealership.
This summer at Dan Calva Toyota World, we have trucks, and more trucks. With over 250 Toyota trucks here and on the way, we guarantee we have a truck for you. Come check out our 2025 hybrid Tacomas that offer 326 horsepower and 4.75% for 60 months. So come get your brand new Toyota truck today at Dan Calva Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
Historically, joint replacement surgery required an extended hospital stay of 3 to 5 days or more. But now with our improved techniques, it can be done as a same-day surgery. You get home sooner, you're more comfortable at home. I got into medicine to help people. Then with joint replacement surgery, I can see immediate results, eliminating a patient's joint pain and really changing their life. At W Medicine, we're able to get people back to living their lives.
On we go to inning number 2 here in Huntington, and it'll be Matt Smith to lead it off in the second for Barboursville. Smith, DeMoss, and Watson for the gentleman clad in red and white. First pitch from Johnson misses low and away, ball 1.
Tell you what, Huntington Little League putting on a great event here, great venue. Of course, 2 fields available, those early rounds. I know they were utilizing both fields, and just a beautiful facility.
That one a strike on the inside. The emphasis on the inside, 1-1. Down low, 2 balls and a strike. It's a habit that I have, picking on the umpires.
Yeah.
Don't take it personal.
Not me, they might.
Ball 3. By the way, we looked it up last night. David Glick Stadium.
Okay.
Or
You
David
did a little
Glick
bit of
Field.
homework.
Yes.
You had so much free time today, I'm not surprised.
Ball 4. I was answering a lot of fan mail today.
Yeah. You just need to remember these umpires, mom, dad, or some other loved one could be sitting at home in their living room enjoying the broadcast. And you
And then
continue to pick.
Dumb old Randy's got to go pick on him. Time called as we get a meeting on the mound before Shy DeMoss, the first baseman for Barboursville, comes to the plate. There you see it. No hits for Barboursville, but the last time I looked, they count the runs, not the hits. And they've got a 2 spot there to lead it here early. Pass it along for Butch Mounts. I know there were a couple of comments yesterday, folks wondering if Video Productions was going to have coverage of the 11 and 12 state tournament. And the answer to that is no. That is being held up in the mountains, up in Elkins, West Virginia this year. And Video Productions will not be part of that tournament. Called strike to DeMoss, 0-1. Bunt popped up and caught. What a great catch by the catcher Barton coming out of the crouch, and then he alertly fired to first, trying to double up the runner. A little bit late there, but that does not detract one iota from the play that he made to retire the batter DeMoss. Here's a look at it. Dove right out in front of the plate and picked it off the top of the turf. So DeMoss is gone, and here's Madden Watson. Watson looks at a strike. That went in the dirt away from the catcher, and it will allow the runner to go down to second base. Good throw by the catcher Barton. Actually, it bounced into the sliding base runner Smith. So he's out there at second now with a 1-1 count on the batter Watson. Another one in the dirt. That one kicks away and up the first base line, and that will allow Smith to go to third, and he can do so standing up. So again, Barboursville threatening and doing so without the aid of a hit. Watson with a 2-ball, 1-strike count. He was in the box. Now he's back out, and now just as quickly back in. 2-1 pitch, misses, ball 3. (3-1) to the plate is hit up the first base line, but foul. First baseman Taylor got a glove on it, but well off the foul line. And the count now full at 3-2. Payoff pitch. After a long look by the right-hander Johnson. Too long to suit the batter Watson, who steps out. He's back on the rubber. And the payoff. And it's fouled off into the netting along the first base side. One more time, the 3-2 from Owen Johnson. And it's low and in, ball 4. That is the 4th walk issued by Johnson. He is yet to allow a hit. But the inconsistency trying to find the strike zone has allowed Barboursville to mix it up on the bases a little bit.
Yeah, and it keeps you in a situation where you always got some pressure being applied just from those base runners, and see if Johnson can get out of it.
Myers, or Watson rather, takes off at first, and they'll let him go with a bluff throw. And Mason Myers ahead in the count, 1 ball and no strikes. Two balls and no strikes. Now Johnson's got to be careful that he doesn't get himself in deep, deep trouble here. Johnson delivers. Called strike. 2-1.
Did a good job there. He bent his back on his delivery, and his release point was lower. Sometimes as you get into a game, not that you get tired, but when you release the ball too high, you're unable to get it pulled down into the proper place.
2-1 is fouled off, and he comes back to even the count at 2-2. Barboursville with runners at second and third, Watson at second, Matt Smith at third, and one out. Already in front 2-0 here in inning number 2. Johnson asked for a new baseball and going to compare it with the one that he had. Still looking, and will wing the one that he doesn't want back into home plate. Down low, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Usually when you ask for a new baseball, you don't get them. You got to give the first one up. Full count. Payoff. Kind of lobs one in there, and it's lined to right for a base hit. It'll score 1. The second runner coming to the plate. The throw will be cut off, and it's an RBI single for Mason Myers as Matt Smith scores, and Barboursville takes a 3-0 lead.
Yeah, the first hit of the game, and as you mentioned, looked like a changeup. A little bit of velocity taken off the ball, but Myers did a good job waiting on the pitch.
Now for the plate, number 1, Jackson Perry.
Jackson Perry, the batter, and he looks at ball 1. Already 47 pitches thrown by Johnson. There's a strike, and it's 1-1. Barboursville trying to get some thunder from the bottom part of its lineup.
Oh.
And Perry hit by the pitch. He doesn't even want anybody to look at him. He
just jumped up,
grimaced in the dirt and got up and sprinted toward first.
I tell you, fortunate there. He turned into the pitch. A lot of times you want, the batter, if the ball's coming inside and you feel like it's coming in, is to roll that shoulder in. He turned and kind of took it square in the gut, and glad that he jumped right up and hustled on down to first base.
Corbin Johnson with the bases loaded and 1 out. And a wild pitch. Here comes the runner from third. The throw is not in time. It gets past the pitcher, and the runner at third started to come in, and now the throw gets past the catcher again, and the runner to the plate safe. So here you go. You'll see the runner score on the wild pitch. The throw gets away, but then the shortstop got it with ease, and then just threw it past the catcher, and another run scores. Johnson was upset with the call, but clearly the base runner Myers slid in across the plate before he was tagged. So a wild pitch that scores 1 run and an E6 that scores the other. Barboursville has scored 3 times in the inning, still only 1 out, and a runner at third. They lead 5-0. 1 ball and no strikes to Johnson, and he looks at strike 1. Talked about you get into a situation like this and a game like this, you taking on one of those traditional powers like a Barboursville or a Jefferson or a Bridgeport, you cannot, as coaches say, give up free bases and extra outs.
Yeah, and your pitcher in the second inning all the way up into the 50s on the pitch count. So it's kind of a snowball effect. It all works together. And then really defensively, it's hard, when you've had this long of an inning, you're out in the field to stay sharp and stay ready and be ready for to make the play.
3-2 pitch. Down low, ball 4. And the inning continues, and now the final batter among the 12 that Barboursville has in its lineup, Hunter Casey will come to the plate. Owen Johnson about to deliver pitch number 57. Ball one. And the runner at first bluffed, and then after a bluff throw to him and a look back at the runner at third, they let Johnson go on down and take second. So now they're a base hit away from pushing across two more. Swing and a miss. Tardy on the swing was Casey, and it's 1-1. Inside, 2 balls and a strike. Casey keeps the inning going. We'll get back to the top of the Barboursville order and the pitcher Brooks Keaton. Low and away, 3 balls and a strike. Swing and a miss. And again, Casey looked like he was saying, do I want to swing? Swing?
Yeah,
do I want to swing?
Hesitation, and then it was too late to catch up with it.
Count runs full at 3-2. Ball 4. And the bases are loaded as we go back to the top of the order, and Brooks Keaton, who would love to atone for his game-opening strikeout, back in inning number 1.
Off the bat, number 2, Brooks Keaton.
So even with the elongated batting order, Barboursville gets through it still inside the second inning. Inside, ball 1. Time called while Barton adjusts his equipment behind the plate.
And the only out of the inning was that magnificent catch that he had. If you remember, the ball that was bunted up in the air, and he lunged out and laid out, made the play.
Pitch, low and in. 2 balls and no strikes. Now time called is Keaton getting some instructions from his third base coach. Face-to-face instruction. 2-0 pitch from Johnson. Keaton backs out of the way. It bounces through the catcher. Runner from third, safe. Throw past the covering pitcher. Now they've got to play at third and safe there. So it's a wild pitch that allows everybody to move up. It is now a 6-0 ball game and a 2-0 count on Keaton.
Tell you what, Johnson made a nice slide back into third. They had him hung up a little bit on that last play, and he did a very acrobatic slide out and got his hand in there safely at third base.
Barton had another issue with his equipment and had to run down to have coach work on it at the end of the dugout. Three balls and no strikes. And ball 4, and they're loaded again. Still only 1 hit in the inning. 5 walks and a hit batter. And this might be the end of the night for Owen Johnson. He gives up the baseball before coach ever gets there. And it looks like The new pitcher might be Reese Abshire. Little journey in the background.
Gotta like that.
While we've got a break in the action, we want to thank our engineer tonight, Corey Boggs. Work he's doing.
It's hard work making us sound good, isn't it?
Well, he's having to put up with working with voice talent for the first time, he said. And I use that term talent very loosely.
We appreciate him and Butch Mounts and all the crew at Video Productions. They do a great job, and we encourage all those that are tuning in and enjoying the games to spread the word, share the word, and let people know what a great job they do with Video Productions. They do so many different events, and they do a first-class professional job all the time. And I'm not being paid to say that. I really mean it.
We have used, we've used Butch's company, I don't know, the last 2 or 3 years to do our Bevo Francis Invitational Basketball Tournament up at the University of Rio Grande. And, you know, they add the element of replays and additional cameras, and they do it upright.
Yeah, they do a great job.
My coaches, please to announce your pitcher changes to the press box, please. Please announce your pitcher changes to the press box. Now into pitch number 30, Reese Abshire.
Reese Abshire taking his warm-up pitches. There you see the score on the screen. Barboursville with a 6-0 lead, and they have but one hit.
Well, just one hit combined, and Capital Midwestern with 2 errors there. But, you know, if you look back to last night's game for Capital Midwestern, as they got past Madison, offense was hard to come by. You know, they pushed a couple across in that last inning, 3-2 final, I think, in that one last night. And so their offense has struggled. They can nary afford to fall behind early in this one.
And they have fallen behind greatly here in the second inning. And tell you what, Reese Abshire coming in and to say that he is in a predicament.
All he needs is a fireman's helmet on, because he's getting thrown into the fire right here. He's going to have to really bow his back, and you got one out, and you got to force it any base. You got to get it over the plate, make him put it in play, and then let your defense help you.
All right, we'll see what he does here against Easton Cole, and Cole fouls it off at the plate, and it's 0-1. Cole walked and scored one of the 2 first-inning runs for Barboursville. Got on with a walk, and then 3 wild pitches got him to the plate. Swing and a miss. Well, if for nothing else, at least through 2 pitches, Abshire comes out of there throwing strikes.
Well, now you got options. I mean, you can make them fish for your pitch. You don't have to throw anything in the zone. You can use your whole repertoire. Tried to throw the breaking ball there. It hung up a little bit.
1 ball and 2 strikes. They try to get the out on the runner at third, and Corbin Johnson not having any
I tell you
of
what,
it.
Barton's got a gun behind the plate. I mean, if I'm off the base out there, you better be on your toes. He's more than willing to whip it around.
Check swing by Cole. Holds back, and the count 2-2. Paxton Payne waiting to bat next. That ball swung on and hit foul to left, and it might have got somebody's car from the sound of it.
Wasn't blue, was it?
Nope.
Good.
I think we're
White.
far enough.
I hate it for the person in the white car.
We're far enough away.
I hope me and you are. I got behind yours, so we could have a shield. And I did park facing the other way, so you got the bed of the truck.
True friend. 2-2 pitch is fouled back.
It's all about looking out for you.
Yep. You always have my back. You're usually the guy plunging the knife in it.
But I'm behind you all the way.
Yes, absolutely. The 2-2 pitch. Bounces up there full count. And with nowhere to put Easton Cole, Reese Abshire has to
set red. He's going to bring it right down the middle.
He'll have to bring it. And Cole probably salivating at that opportunity. 3-2 pitch. Swung on and a slow tapper hit toward third. They'll come to the plate and they throw it wide. And all hands are safe. And the throw to third, it might have actually got the runner. He's safe, but I say got the runner in the fact the ball may have hit him.
Number 26, Paxton Payne.
That'll be a fielder's choice that allows Cole to reach and everybody else to move up.
And I believe Johnson moved over to third and fielded it clean and had a good look to get that force out at home, but threw a little bit wildly into the plate and Barton couldn't bring it in.
That is the second error of the inning. The lead now 7-0. And now you're getting into the meat of the Barboursville order. And they still have but one hit. Swing and a miss. Paxton Payne struck out swinging his first time up. Swing and a miss. Got away from the catcher, but not far enough for Casey down at third to take a chance. No balls and 2 strikes. Pitch in the air and out of play to the left side.
Friday guys, please return foul balls to the field. Please return foul balls to the field.
For a free slushy.
Not tonight.
No.
Unbelievably.
There is a sign out there.
Hit it here. We promise you one, and we can't deliver on the promise. And there's a call, strike 3. That looked like that pitch bounced up there. Going a little high-lie here in Huntington tonight.
Top to bat, number 3, Liam Davis.
So Payne has gone on strikes.
The zone has expanded.
No, it didn't bounce up there, but it was low. This one scoots past. And no advancement. Liam Davis walked and scored on a throwing error in the first inning.
There's a lot of baseball yet to be played. If you can get out of here without any more damage, get a couple runs, anything can happen.
Getting out of the inning, though, has been tough thus far. Swing and a miss by Davis. And it's 1-1. Kind of really not a whole lot for either fan base to cheer about. We mentioned earlier about the subdued crowd, and it really hadn't gotten any better. Here's a ground ball hit toward second. The play is to first, and the inning is over. But damage most definitely done by Barboursville in the inning. They get 5 runs, 1 hit. There were 2 errors and 3 runners left on base. We are in the middle of inning number 2 here in Huntington. It's Barboursville 7, Capital Midwestern nothing. It's the 2025.
Summer, we have amazing deals for you here at Dan Cava GMC. Let's check them out. Our 2025 Acadia is a 3-row family SUV that's perfect for your summer vacations. Come test drive one of our bold and rugged GMC AT4 Canyons. Lease a 2026 Terrain for as low as $499 a month with no money down. And don't miss out on the greatest selection of the year of our pre-owned vehicles. Dan Cava GMC, shop the world!
Before you hit the Hatfield-McCoy trails, fuel up the way West Virginians do, at Little General Stores. We're proud to be part of your ride. Rooted in West Virginia and built for the back roads. Little General Stores. Fuel your adventure the West Virginia way.
At Polka Valley, We offer a full suite of conventional, government, and West Virginia housing loan products, strong construction loans, and 100% financing to qualified applicants. Visit us online or call us today. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
This summer, we have amazing deals for you here at Dan Cava GMC. Let's check them out. Our 2025 Acadia is a 3-row family SUV that's perfect for your summer vacations. Come test drive one of our bold and rugged GMC AT4 Canyons. Lease a 2026 Terrain for as low as $499 a month with no money down. And don't miss out on the greatest selection of the year of our pre-owned vehicles. Dan Cava GMC, shop the world!
Before you hit the Hatfield-McCoy trails, fuel up the way West Virginians do, a Little General Stores. We're proud to be part of your ride. Rooted in West Virginia and built for the back roads. Little General Stores. Fuel your adventure the West Virginia way.
At Polka Valley, we offer a full suite of conventional, government, and West Virginia housing loan products, strong construction loans, and 100% financing to qualified applicants. Visit us online or call us today. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Moving along at a leisurely pace as we go to the bottom half of the second inning here at Huntington Little League, and Barboursville with a 7-0 lead. It'll be Jacob Enoch to lead it off for the youngsters from Kanawha County here in inning number 2, and they've got a lot of work to do.
And I'll tell you what, Brooks Keaton, in all seriousness, needs to get himself warmed back up. I mean, that was a long half inning. He threw the first inning, and he's been sitting for a pretty good while. So as a pitcher, he's got to make sure he gets warmed up, gets ready to go. That's a lot of time to sit and then have to try and get restarted.
Jacob Enoch, the center fielder.
Enoch.
Dallas Enoch, the manager of this Capital Midwestern Ball Club. 1-0 the count as the first pitch from Keaton misses wide. That one high, 2 balls and no strikes. You mentioned the long wait between throwing pitches, but if you're Keaton now up 7-0, throw strikes. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty much that simple. Swung on and fouled off. It's 2-1. You throw strikes. Either you get them out or you allow the batter to get themselves out.
Yeah, and again, you see that with pitchers at all levels, but it's all about your release point. I mean, when you're missing high, and we've seen both pitchers do that, you're not pulling that top half of your body over and getting your release point down.
2-1 pitch. Called strike on the inside edge and drawing the ire of some of the folks who are here rooting on the Capital Midwestern All-Stars. 2-2. Wide, ball 3. Now they might endure the wrath of some of the Barboursville fans. Full count to the leadoff batter here in the Capital Midwestern second. Payoff pitch, swung on and fouled back. Enoch waiting patiently. Keaton sets, payoff pitch, struck him out swinging. Enoch is gone here in the second inning for out number 1. Here's the second baseman, River Ramsey. Ramsey, a right-handed batter. Waving that bat around, waiting. Pitch from Keaton, swung on and hit down the right field line. A fair ball. Drop in there for a hit. Little soft liner that cleared the infield and drops in shallow right. Man, the first hit of the night for Capital Midwestern. Kyler White One of the extra hitters in the Capital Midwestern lineup will settle in, left-handed batter. Keaton delivers and White swings through it, strike one. Keaton delivers and the pitch is swung on and lofted up and out of play on the third base side. It's 0-2. One out, one on, bottom of the second. Barboursville in front 7-0. Swing and a foul off the end of the bat. End of the screen. Holding it 0-2. Keaton all business as he looks in, nods yes to the sign. The 0-2 pitch to the plate, and it's in the dirt. To the backstop it goes. Ball one to White. And the wild pitch sends Ramsey motoring on down to second. That one up high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jacqueline Ellis waiting to bat next. Two balls, 2 strikes. Keaton with the break even. And he hit him. Tried to come inside and came too far inside and got him on the right arm, and White got up and then ran halfway down the first line. Then I think that crazy bone that he may have been hit on, the reverb on that. Oh, we just had a fan thrown out. I don't know, did Capital Midwestern think that was intentional?
Yeah, I don't know what was said. Obviously not something the umpire wanted to hear.
Well, the umpire said no more, and when he said that, the guy that got tossed said, or what? And the or what is, we'll see you later.
Number 9, Jacqueline Ellis.
Call up the live stream. So White is hit by the pitch. He's at first, Ramsey at second, 1 out. Jacqueline Ellis, the batter. Ellis looks at a pitch up high, ball 1. That one up high, 2 balls and no strikes. And now with a 7-0 lead, Keaton having problems finding the strike zone, and Capital Midwestern threatening to possibly load them up, and we all know what could happen with one swing of the bat. And then you've got a brand new game again. And for that very reason, we get time called, and we get a meeting on the mound with the inner defense for the Barboursville All-Stars.
And we mentioned this Capital Midwestern team going to keep battling, keep playing. They hung in there last night, and then when they got their opportunity, they took advantage of it. So, at this point, in the game, in the tournament, if you're Barboursville, take nothing for granted. They've got to try and stop the rally here.
You don't want to play from behind, but it's a scenario that Capital Midwestern is familiar with.
Yeah,
and like you said, they battled tooth and nail last night and then got it done late. Two ball, no strike count to Ellis. She waits on Keaton to climb back up on the bump. He does, and now she's in the batter's box. Keaton with the 2-0 to the plate. And it misses inside. It gets away from the catcher, and both runners will move up. So now runners at second and third with one out. And Ellis going to be taken all the way on 3-0, a ball away from loading them up. Cam Williams waiting to bat next. Called strike. This one fouled into the netting, and now a 3-2 count to Ellis. Out of the box and now back in. Waving that bat around and waiting. Keaton, an affirmative nod of the sign, and the 3-2 to the plate. And up and in, ball 4, and the bases are loaded. Going to bring up Cam Williams with the bases loaded and one out. And talk about a situation where a team looking for any kind of a hint of momentum, and Williams could give it to him right here, but this might be a pitching change. I think it has to be, doesn't it? This is the second visit in the inning. Yep, it's going to be a pitching change. There's a whole bunch of them out there tossing the rosin bag around. Who's it going to be that pitches? 21 will be the new pitcher, and that is Wyatt Smith.
Now on the mound, Wyatt Smith.
So Wyatt Smith will come on with one out, and the bases loaded. His team in front 7-0, but Coach Marone kind of imperative that young Mr. Smith come in and get an out.
Yeah, they need to get an out. They got to get ahead of the hitters, stay ahead in the count, and then try and minimize damage here. The last thing you want to do, you had a big inning, you've got a nice lead, is come out and let Capital Midwestern feel like they're back in the game, and then you don't know what's going to happen after that. Confidence grows as they can hang around and chip away at the lead.
Give those folks down there in the Dutch Miller Ballpark Pavilion down the left field line who are clad in blue, they're looking for something to cheer about. And young Mr. Williams has been granted that opportunity, and he'll get it as soon as Smith finishes his warm-up tosses. Coverage again tomorrow night, 2 games. The semifinals. The winner of this one gets Cerrito Canova. In the 5:30 opener, and then 30 minutes after the conclusion of that game, we'll have the other semifinal, which will feature Bridgeport and Jefferson. We talked about Bridgeport being a a state power, at least at the high school level. You can say the same thing out of Jefferson. They've won a few state titles up there in the Panhandle.
Yep, a lot of tradition there, and that ought to be a great game tomorrow night for sure.
You got that in one game, and you got the potential, as we said, if this holds up, for Barboursville and CK, a big District 1 battle, and we could have two really good games and two big crowds tomorrow night.
Yep, Capital Midwestern trying to rain on that parade.
They most
they're
certainly
trying to mount
are.
a comeback.
Cam Williams, chance to get his team right back in the ball game. He looks at a strike. Williams, a right-handed batter, deep in the box. Waiting on Keaton. 0-1. Swung on and fouled off into the netting up above the first base area. He got caught by the netting that's attached to the backstop to keep it in the field of play. No balls and 2 strikes. Here's Smith deliver, and it's hit on the ground toward second. They'll play to second for 1, and a throw to, there won't be a throw to first. They'll settle for the force out. So fielder's choice by Williams. He gets an RBI out of it. Erase Ellis, 4-6 for the second out of the inning. Advance White to third and score Ramsey. It's a 7-1 ball game, and here's the left fielder, Cookie Porco. You mentioned Espen Taylor, maybe the name of the tournament. If not, then I would go with Cookie Porco. Pitch from Smith, swung on and hit toward right field, and the right fielder out there, Smith, will make the catch, and the inning is over. So Capital Midwestern gets on the board, but they miss a big opportunity. They get 1 run on 1 hit. There were no errors and 2 runners left on base. We play 2 complete here in Huntington. It's Barboursville 7, Capital Midwestern 1. This is the 2025 West Virginia 8-10 Baseball State Tournament from Video Productions.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
At Polka Valley, we offer a full suite of conventional government and West Virginia housing loan products, strong construction loans, and 100% financing to qualified applicants. Visit us online or call us today. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Trojan Landing Marine is now Charleston's newest power sports dealership. We now carry Segway side-by-sides, Royal Enfield, and Benelli motorcycles. Royal Enfield has been making motorcycles for over 120 years. At Trojan Landing, our Segway sport and utility vehicles all start under $20,000, and all of our bikes are under $10,000. We have a wide selection of helmets, clothing, riding gear, and more. We're now your water, road, and dirt dealership.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
At Polka Valley, we offer a full suite of conventional government and West Virginia housing loan products, strong construction loans, and 100% financing to qualified applicants. Visit us online or call us today. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Trojan Landing Marine is now Charleston's newest power sports dealership. We now carry Segway side-by-sides, Royal Enfield, and Benelli motorcycles. Royal Enfield has been making motorcycles for over 120 years. At Trojan Landing, our Segway Sport and utility vehicles all start under $20,000, and all of our bikes are under $10,000. We have a wide selection of helmets, clothing, riding gear, and more. We're now your water, road, and dirt dealership.
Defensive changes for Capital Midwestern as we go to the third inning. Now at first base is Owen Johnson. The new catcher is Espen Taylor. And there's an out on the first pitch of the inning as Wyatt Smith fouls out to the third baseman. And that's who I was looking up. The new third baseman is Carter Barton. So he pulls it in for out number one, and that'll bring up Matt Smith. Looks at a strike. Smith walked and scored in the 5-run second. Looks at strike two. Swung on and hit on the line, and then a bounce to the second baseman, and Ramsey will field and throw on to first, and Smith is gone for out number two.
Number 99, Shy DeMoss.
So Reese Abshire, he has actually retired all 5 batters that he's faced.
Yeah, he's come in and done a nice job for Capital Midwestern.
Batter is Shy DeMoss, and a swing and a miss. No balls and 2 strikes. Trying to make quick work of Barboursville here in the third. 0-2. Missing in. Barboursville with 2 in the first and 5 in the second. Leading 7-1 in the third. Way up and out of the strike zone, and a good job by the new catcher, Espen Taylor, to make that catch. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. DeMoss is gone, and so too is Barboursville in order here in the third. We head to the bottom half. Barboursville 7. Capital Midwestern 1. It's the 2025 West Virginia 8-10 Baseball State Tournament here on Video Productions.
Doesn't wait, so neither should your care. Whether it's a cough, fever, or stomach bug, Access Plus is here for those urgent moments.
From bumps and bruises to stitches and even x-rays, we've got you covered with extended hours and walk-in care for the whole family.
You do not have to be an Access Health patient to be seen. No appointments, no hassle, just quality care when you need it.
Access Health, where care meets community.
Last commercial there said, "Let's play ball." And that's exactly what we would like to do.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, impressive inning that time for Capital Midwestern. I mean, this game has had ebbs and flows, but after the kind of the lengthy half inning before that, just a great job coming in and Abshire coming in and getting it done, 3 up, 3 down, and get the offense back in there.
Kind of reminded me of that old cartoon with who was it? The Goons and the Schnooks. 1, 2, 3, you're out. 1, 2, 3, you're out.
Yeah.
Hey, you're right, though. Got a new catcher for Barboursville. And it's Keaton, who began the game as the pitcher. Wyatt Smith on for his first full inning of work, and he will deal with 11, 12, and 1 in the Capital batting order, namely Max Falbo, Jackson Mullins, and then the leadoff batter, Carter Barton. Barboursville still out there with their infield warm-up between innings. This between innings may take longer than the top half of the inning took. Like I said earlier, we are operating at a leisurely pace. Here's Falbo. Right-handed hitter. Smith delivers, and Falbo swings and rolls one fair. Knocked down by the third baseman, and then off his glove, and Falbo's on.
I'll tell you what, you put the ball in play, good things can happen, and Falbo hit that ball right along the baseline, and the third baseman tried to backhand it, wasn't able to corral the ball, and the first batter gets on.
Jackson Mullins, the right fielder. And the last of the 12 batters for Capital Midwestern looks at ball one. Swung on and hit up the middle and caught by the second baseman, who caught it on the line, and a throw back to first, and that's a double play. The base runner, Falbo, was all the way to the second base bag when the ball got caught. Was a nice effort by the second baseman, Smith, to make the catch, but Falbo went into second with a slide, and once the catch was made, he was a dead duck, and they throw back to first for the double play.
Yeah, it looked for all purposes. It was going to be a base hit, clean up the middle, and a great play and double play by Barboursville.
4-3 on the double play, and here's a pop-up on the infield, and just like that, as the ball's caught by the third baseman, Davis, Barton is gone, and so too is Capital Midwestern here in the third. No runs, no hits, an error, nobody left. 3 complete here in Huntington, and it's Barboursville 7, Capital Midwestern 1. It's the 2025 West Virginia 8-10 Baseball State Tournament from Video Productions.
Before you hit the Hatfield-McCoy trails, fuel up the way West Virginians do, at Little General Stores. We're proud to be part of your ride. Rooted in West Virginia and built for the back roads. Little General Stores. Fuel your adventure the West Virginia way.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
At Polka Valley, we offer a full suite of conventional, government, and West Virginia housing loan products, strong construction loans, and 100% financing to qualified applicants. Visit us online or call us today. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
There's that double play back in the bottom half of the inning. You see the little ball that looked like it was ticketed to center field. Wasn't hit all that hard at all, but a nice catch by the second baseman. And then, as we said, it kind of left the base runner, Falbo, in no man's land. He was all the way to the second base bag by the time the ball got caught, and then was easily doubled up.
Yeah, that's a huge play right there. The inning would have continued, and that snuffed it out. The double play gets 2 outs, nobody on, and they get out of the inning. And Capital Midwestern back out in the field and staring at that 7-1 deficit.
Madden Watson will lead it off for Beeville here in the 4th. Again, the in-between innings are endless. Never thought I would utter it, but I'm thinking that maybe that old pitch clock that in-between inning clock ought to be implemented in. It'll be Wednesday before we start the inning. You could almost understand if we were playing in the heat right
Yeah, this
now.
is a huge inning, though, right here. I think Barboursville a chance to really put the squeeze on here. They're up 7-1. We're getting into that area of the game where there's, deficits you can't allow. So if you're Midwestern, this is a huge inning.
First pitch to Watson, misses ball 1. Walked and scored in the 2nd. Swung on and hit on a line and picked off by the first baseman. That's now Owen Johnson out there, and he pulls down the line drive for out number 1. It'll bring up Mason Myers, who delivered a run-scoring single and then later scored in the 2nd inning.
Of course, Johnson got some mound work earlier, now at first base.
Up high, ball 1. As we said, of course, the first batter that Abshire faced hit into a fielder's choice, so he actually got on, but they got an out of the play, and Abshire hadn't allowed a base runner since.
Yeah, he's had good command of his pitches. He's getting ahead in the count. And then you've got people fishing. You've got that batter a little bit unsure. And advantage pitcher, Abshire's done a nice job there. We'll see if he can continue that.
I thought he said foul tip, but they don't have a strike up there on the board. I believe it's 1-1, and now it should be 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That's right.
Good to see our good friend Brian Roten is awake and tuning in. And
oh, did he check in?
Communicating with us. Yeah, checking in.
I wonder if he'll make an appearance tomorrow night.
There's no parade or anything he needs to Grand Marshal, does he?
I'm sure that will elicit a response. 3-2 pitch on the way. Hit toward the second baseman and past the diving second baseman. Not out into right center field. And it got in between the outfielders, and that's going to end up a ground ball double for Mason Myers, who is now 2 for 2.
Tell you what, good piece of hitting. We talked about this throughout. The tournament is just hit the pitch where it's pitched and don't try and do too much. He hit a rocket right back up the middle, got past the center fielder, and Myers ends up on second base. Nice job at the plate.
Jackson Perry, who was hit by a pitch and scored in the 2nd. At the plate, man bunting and fielded by the pitcher. The quick throw to first is in time. And the runner moves to third. Corbin Johnson will bat. He walked and scored in the 2nd. Is that a new umpire out there at first base?
No, he's been there the whole game.
Okay.
I think he did the plate in the first game.
A little soft pop-up to the first baseman, and the inning is over. They get a hit, and they strand a runner when we're in the middle of the 4th inning. And Barboursville maintaining a 7-1 lead over Capital Midwestern. It's the 2025 West Virginia 8-10 Baseball State Tournament from Video Productions.
Trojan Landing Marine is now Charleston's newest power sports dealership. We now carry Segway side-by-sides, Royal Enfield, and Benelli motorcycles. Royal Enfield has been making motorcycles for over 120 years. At Trojan Landing, our Segway sport and utility vehicles all start under $20,000, and all of our bikes are under $10,000. We have a wide selection of helmets, clothing, riding gear, and more. We're now your water, road, and dirt dealership.
This summer at Dan Calva Toyota World, we have trucks, and more trucks. With over 250 Toyota trucks here and on the way, we guarantee we have a truck for you. Come check out our 2025 hybrid Tacomas that offer 326 horsepower and 4.75% for 60 months. So come get your brand new Toyota truck today at Dan Calva Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
Historically, joint replacement surgery required an extended hospital stay of 3 to 5 days or more, but now with our improved techniques, it can be done as a same-day surgery. You get home sooner, you're more comfortable at home. I got into medicine to help people. Then with joint replacement surgery, I can see immediate results, eliminating a patient's joint pain and really changing their life. At W Medicine, we're able to get people back to living their lives.
Pondering the possibilities of shaved ice as we move to the bottom of the fourth inning here at Huntington Little League, 7-1.
Well, I heard they spotted somebody letting the air out of one of the tires. I think his name was Boggs. They said he was wanting to make sure they were still there at the end of the game. So one of the tires is a little low on the Rainbow truck out in the right field area behind the fence. And we were hearing a delicious description of a
blackberry and cherry.
Wow.
That dog will hunt, you know.
Wow.
We got baseball going on, and Espen Taylor feeds it off here in the fourth inning and looks at ball one. Walked his first time up. Swing and a foul tip.
And hopefully the ump, I think it caught his mask, but it's kind of at a weird angle. Well, there's no helmet on top of that mask for the ump. You know what I mean?
You're right. You're right.
He does have shin guards on, though, I think. I'm just
does.
checking apparel for the men in blue.
You're saying the fashion police
Fashion police are here. I'm just worried about them. I want to keep them safe.
I understand.
Unlike some others that are being mean to them.
I understand. No, and they'll remain nameless. 2-ball, 1-strike pitch, and Taylor hops out of the way, 3-1. Taylor to be followed by Abshire and Owen Johnson. Here in the home half of the fourth. Time running out on Capital Midwestern. They have kept Barboursville off the board the last couple of innings, but still trail 7-1. And a walk to lead off the fourth for Espen Taylor. You'd think he could get da-da-da.
Well, if they advance through tonight, we may have to talk to our programmer and see if we can bring that up. Might have to pay some copyright fees.
Possibly. Reese Abshire, who struck out looking his first time up, done a nice job on the mound since taking over. Looks at a strike here, 0-1.
Off the bat, number 30, Reese Abshire.
Abshire, I think, might have.
He bailed out a little bit early. I think that pitch actually came back near the plate.
Yeah.
It must have been on the inside, but that was a nice breaking ball.
1-ball, 1-strike. Pitch to him. Ducks under that one. Throw down to first, runner back.
Yeah,
2 balls and a strike.
Yeah, he's not getting the call on the breaking pitch, so you might want to start it a little bit more in towards the plate, and it should break right over the outer half.
Smith sets and delivers. Swung on and hit back up the middle and past the shortstop into center field. Base hit. So the first two have reached here in the fourth. for Capital Midwestern, and you start to hear a little bit of a murmur in the crowd down there along the third base side.
Well, I tell you what, they're in the meat of the order right now. If you're going to do some damage, this is the time. You got no outs, 2 men on, and got your big hitters coming up.
Well, we talked earlier that they were kind of, to some degree, a fish out of the water last night until the bottom of the 6th inning, and then, but when they jumped back in the water, they did so with authority.
They did. They did it at the plate, and they did it by putting the ball in play and hitting where they ain't.
Pitch a taken strike by Owen Johnson. Johnson swings and grounds one into center field, a base hit, and it eludes the center fielder. Picked up out there in deep center field. 1 run scores, 2 runs are going to score, and it's a 7-3 ball game, and Johnson ends up at second. He'll get an RBI for the first run. The second one will score on an error, but there are runs nonetheless, and it's 7-3.
Yeah, I tell you what, hit it square. Squared it up, hit it into the gap. It got through the defense. And you mentioned earlier, hang in there and then get a couple here and there, and that's what's happening. And they have awoken the bats for Capital Midwestern, and they've cut that lead to 7-3, nobody out, and still have a man in scoring position.
Jacob Enoch, who struck out swinging his first time, trying to get the youngsters from Capital Midwestern a little closer with a potential another run in the inning, out there at second base. It's a ball and no strikes to Enoch. Make his old man happy with a hit here.
Yep. We talked about them doing their job defensively last inning. They got that job done, and then now, momentum has slipped on a blue and gray or silver jersey.
2 balls and no strikes. Smith to Enoch. And he dances out of the way, ball 3. Two in, 1 on, nobody out. And ball 4. And it is a full-fledged rally in progress for Capital Midwestern as River Ramsey comes to the plate. And now time call.
Good timeout. I mean, all those balls were up high. Just 23 pitches on the pitch count, but you got to emphasize, you got to pull that down. You got to get down into the zone, because once you start throwing high and then you're starting to aim the ball, that gets you into more trouble. Just got to relax.
If we'll see a pitching change here or not, no indication of that as of yet. And that's nothing more than a chance to stop the momentum and give a word of encouragement. And now we'll see what happens as River Ramsey comes to the plate. He singled in the second inning and scored what was the lone Capital Midwestern run prior to this inning. A couple of runners on. And taking all the way a strike. Ramsey taps the head of the bat on the plate, patiently waits on the 0-1 pitch on the way. Swung on and hit on the right side in the air and caught by the second baseman. Out number 1. Kyler White, who was hit by a pitch his first time up. He'll settle in with 2 on, 2 in, and 1 out. Outside edge, called strike. Bottom of the fourth, we play 6. That one misses 1-1. Barboursville 2 in the first, 5 in the second to go up 7-0, but Capital Midwestern 1 in the second, 2 thus far here in the fourth, have made it 7-3, a swing and a miss. And it's 1-2. One-two pitch. Hangs high and the count levels at 2-2. Again, the winner gets Sarita Canova tomorrow night in the 5:30 opener as we begin play in the championship bracket. 3 balls and 2 strikes, and Smith wanted that pitch, and I think his battery mate did as well and didn't get it. Now a ball away from loading them up. Payoff. Ball hit into the air and into the netting on the third base side. And it holds at 3-2. Payoff. Ball 4, and they're loaded.
Now coming to the plate, number 9, Jacqueline Ellis.
Here is Jacqueline Ellis, who walked in the second. She'll settle in with 1 out and the base is loaded. She can chop the deficit in half if she finds some real estate here. The pitch. Called strike. She didn't like it. Turned and walked away from the plate after home plate blue rendered his decision. Finds herself down in the count 0-1. Called strike 2 on the outside, and now she jumps out of the batter's box, upset at the call. No balls, 2 strikes. Smith looking for a big second out. And a ground ball back up the middle. They'll play to the plate for 1. They'll throw to first. Or actually, no throw to first as Slide took out the catcher, and I don't think the catcher real happy about that, but they do get the force out of the lead runner. Score at 1-2. Move everybody else up on the fielder's choice, so the bases remain loaded now with 2 outs for Cam Williams. And this was exactly the position that Williams was in his last time up. He came up with the bases loaded and 1 out and hit into a fielder's choice that drove in Cap Midwestern. That's for you, Butch Mounts. Their first run. Asking for a pitch count on Smith, and I think they're going to go ahead and keep him in the game rather than pull him out. Of course, 35, I think, is one of the, if you have to have 1 day of rest if you throw 21 to 35 pitches, which means he could come back in the championship game should they reach it, but that now goes by the wayside with that 36th pitch, and it's outside for ball 1. The decisions that managers are forced to make because of that pitch count rule.
Yeah, you got to take care of what's in front of you for sure today.
Swing and a foul ball to left. 1-1. And there's no point in saving him for the championship
No,
game if you don't get to the semifinal.
Hey, you can't leave any bullets in the gun. You got to throw what you got to do to get it done. There's probably no worse feeling than trying to hold something back.
Swing and a pop-up, and it'll drop behind the mound, and there'll be no play. And the throw to the plate is high, but no advance beyond the one runner that did score on the play. And how about that? An infield single on a pop-up that falls behind the mound. The run is home. It's 7-4. And how about this? The go-ahead run comes to the plate.
Yeah, that's just a tough play, but somebody's got to call off on that. You hardly ever want your pitcher to be the one having to field a pop-up. It should be one of your other infielders. But it was just placed, and it wasn't super high. It was somewhat low, and nobody could get to it, and therefore they couldn't call anybody off.
Third run of the inning, and here is Cookie Porco. Second RBI of the night for Cam Williams. Porco flied to right to end the second inning. Looks at a strike. No balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, they've got 5th inning out there on the board. It is actually the bottom of the 4th. It's correct on your screen, but just enough to keep us in check here at the ballpark. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. And that will be the inning. But 3 runs in the inning for Capital Midwestern. They get 3 hits. There were no errors and 3 runners left on base. We head to the 5th here in
Plan? No problem. Just wing it. Whether it's a 6 or 10-piece order of our mouth-watering traditional wings or our flavorful boneless wings, now get them smothered in our new garlic parmesan sauce. Gino's Pizza and Spaghetti House. Just wing it.
Little General Stores has been serving West Virginia communities for almost 5 decades. That's nearly 50 years of providing those essential needs for your daily journey. We are so grateful to be a small part of your lives, and we want to recognize the integral part of our operation, the LG family. We know these last couple years haven't been easy, but with every sunrise and sunset, you keep us going. To the LG family, the moms, dads, sisters, brothers, sons, and daughters of West Virginia, thank you.
From our made-from-scratch biscuit sandwiches to hearty breakfast wraps, Tudor's Biscuit World serves up a taste of simpler times. Now pair your favorite sandwich or wrap with a refreshing iced coffee combo. This is Biscuit Country, where made-from-scratch never tasted better.
I don't know, maybe if you live 5 minutes from the...
Before you hit the Hatfield-McCoy trails, fuel up the way West Virginians do at Little General Stores. We're proud to be part of your ride. Rooted in West Virginia and built for the back roads. Little General Stores. Fuel your adventure the West Virginia way.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all. Restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone.
On we go to the 5th inning. It'll be Hunter Casey to lead it off for Barboursville. First pitch, low and away, ball 1. Casey, and then the top of the order, Keaton and Cole. The pitch as he squares around a bunt and pulls the bat back, and that one outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Casey walked in the 2nd inning. Still looking for an official at-bat. Abshire delivers. Then misses high, 3-0. Abshire to the back of the mound. He steps off the rubber and gets a handful of that rosin bag, or the ticky-tack bag, if you will. Pitch, called strike. That's what he needed, was a little bit better grip on the ball. 3-1. Into the motion and pitching. And it's hit. What a play by the second baseman. How about River Ramsey? Talk about taking a hit away from somebody. He flat out robbed Hunter Casey. Here's a look at it. That man goes airborne and pulls it down. A little bit of a web gem, if you will. Here's Brooks Keaton, who has struck out and walked. Ball one. Jerry Coleman, the old Hall of Fame broadcaster for San Diego Padres years ago, he would say, put a star by that one. Outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Two-0 pitch down low, ball 3. If you're Abshire, you've done such a good job on the mound in relief right now, and obviously you want to limit, if not prevent altogether, base runners and continue to give your team a chance to rally. But he's a pitch away from putting Keaton on. Called strike. The 3-1. And he misses inside, ball 4. So a 1-out walk. Keaton walks for the second consecutive time, and that'll bring up Easton Cole, who has walked and scored and bounced into a fielder's choice.
Now for that, number 8, Easton Cole.
Called strike. Runner breaks for second, and the throw down, and scampering back to first is Keaton. 0-1 the count to the batter, Cole. And that one spiked and past the catcher, and the runner will go to second this time. That'll be a wild pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. Easton Cole at the plate. Paxton Payne waiting to hit next. Pitch. Again, it bounces up there. Runner starts toward third, but catcher will get it back to his battery mate. And scampering back to second is Keaton, and now time called. Espen Taylor, the catcher, talking it over with Abshire, the pitcher. Here's a 2-1 on the way. Backhand stop by Taylor, but low and away, 3-1. Abshire again working on that stickum bag on the back of the Mound trying to get a better grip on the ball as he deals the 3-1 to the plate. And it's strike 2. So the count has gone full on Easton Cole. Payoff from Abshire. Struck him out swinging. Good comeback on the hill by the youngster Reese Abshire. He retires Cole for the second out of the inning, and now we'll have to deal with Paxton Payne, who has twice batted and twice struck out, swinging in the first and looking in the second. Down low, ball 1. Seven runs, 2 hits, and an error for Barboursville. 4, 4, and 3 for Capital Midwestern. 2 outs deep, top of the 5th inning. Swung on and caught on a line foul by the coach in the third base coach's box. No balls and a strike. Down low, 1-1. Tournament began on the 4th of July, last Friday, and we have worked our way down to the final 5 teams. We'll be at 4 when night is over. That one fouled off. And that means we'll be in the semifinal round tomorrow.
Yep, at the end of tomorrow, you'll have 2 left standing, and they'll play for the title.
2-2 pitch from Abshire. Fouled off. And Paxton Payne proving to be a pain at the plate for Abshire. Trying to get that third out. Pitching. And he got it. Strike 3 called to end the inning. For Barboursville, no runs, no hits, no errors. They leave 1. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Capital Midwestern trying to rally again. They trail Barboursville 7-4. It's the 2025 West Virginia 8-10 Baseball State Tournament from Video Productions. What happened to your ad? What happened to your ad?
Summer, we have amazing deals for you here at Dan Cava GMC. Let's check them out. Our 2025 Acadias, a 3-row family SUV that's perfect for your summer vacations. Come test drive one of our bold and rugged GMC AT4 Canyons. Lease a 2026 Terrain for as low as $499 a month with no money down. And don't miss out on the greatest selection of the year of our pre-owned vehicles. Dan Cava GMC, shop the world!
Before you hit the Hatfield-McCoy trails, fuel up the way West Virginians do, at Little General Stores. We're proud to be part of your ride. Rooted in West Virginia and built for the back roads. Little General Stores. Fuel your adventure the West Virginia way.
At Polka Valley, we offer a full suite of conventional, government, and West Virginia housing loan products, strong construction loans, and 100% financing to qualified applicants. Visit us online or call us today. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Bottom of the 5th here in Huntington, where Capital Midwestern got 3 in the 4th to draw within 7-4, and now they try to continue their comeback, cardiac style, like it was last night, and try to knock off Barboursville in this elimination game. Randy Payton, Rick Marone, Corey Boggs, our engineer tonight. Butch Mounts, big brother, is watching. He is hovering in the facility.
I think he was spotted out at the Rainbow Truck out in right field is what I've heard. I haven't confirmed
Probably
that yet.
having a blackberry and cherry shaved ice.
Wouldn't hurt my feelings if somebody out there was listening to
That's
the
exactly
broadcast or
right.
watching, and they sent some complimentary.
We are dropping
blackberry.
We are dropping the hints.
We are.
The
We
breadcrumbs have led out.
I
to
mean, yeah, that wouldn't hurt anybody's feelings.
No, absolutely
Might
not.
even give them a plug on
we
the
would
air.
give them absolutely.
You would, wouldn't you?
I absolutely.
In between your slurping of the shaved ice.
Well, here I'm told by the expert to my right, you eat the first part of it, and then the drink of what is melted.
Oh, so you got a whole meal going
You
there.
actually
You
do.
actually have a whole meal.
That's exactly right.
And then you got to wash it down with the combination.
And you know what? You'd have absolutely enough time to take it all in between innings. At the rate
You
we're
definitely
going.
do.
Have I beat that horse enough?
Yeah, I think it's.
I mean, it stood up and I knocked it up the side of the head.
It's been dead twice. Yeah, it's made into glue now.
Max Falbo will lead it off here in the home fifth. A swing and a miss, and it's 0-1. 11-12-1 for Capital Midwestern here in the fifth. Falbo's previous at-bat, he reached on an error in the third. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. Well, the positive for Capital Midwestern, whatever you do in this inning, you're going to have some pretty good sticks that come to the plate in the sixth. Foul tip that the catcher can't hang on to, and the count holds at 0-2. Even if you go in order here in the fifth, you're talking 2, 3, 4. And obviously you would hope more in the sixth. So they're turning their lineup over at the right time, I guess is what I'm trying to get at. 0-2 pitch. He chased it. He froze that swing, check swing, and they say no. I mean, he
held it. He checked it and held it.
He looked like the Statue of Liberty holding that torch out there. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Swung on and fouled up and out of play. Off to the left. One ball, 2 strikes. Pitch. Swung on and fouled back. He chased one up in his eyes, but got the bat around in time to make just enough contact and keep himself up there at least for one more pitch. The 1-2 again. Swung on and rolled to the left side. Speared thigh high by the third baseman. And Davis on to DeMoss at first, and there's 1 out. Looks like he's been playing third base for years. He took it on the second hop and fired across and in time for out number 1. Jackson Mullins, who lined out to the second baseman his first time up. Check swing, low and away, ball 1.
Now to the plate, number 25, Jackson Mullins.
Swung on and popped up on the infield. It is the second baseman, that is Smith, in front of the second base bag, who will pull in the pop-up for out number 2. 2 out batters, the leadoff man, Carter Barton.
He did a great job there. We saw that play earlier in the game, and nobody really took charge of it. It fell in behind the mound. He immediately broke on the ball, did a good job calling everybody off. Communication is the key.
Carter Barton, a strikeout victim, and he's also popped out the third, 0 for 2. Be a fine time for his first hit of the night. Looks at a strike. Talked about now you get into the top of the order, and if you're Capital Midwestern, this is what you want. Now you got to make the magic happen. Swung on and rolled toward the shortstop. Played on the hop by Payne. He will throw to first in time, and a nice job by Barboursville as they retire Capital Midwestern in the 5th in order. We head to the 6th and final inning. It is Barboursville 7, Capital Midwestern 4. This is the 2025 West Virginia 8-10 Baseball State Tournament from Video Productions. Just as we talked last night, that big overflowing Dr. Pepper, Pepsi, whatever it might be, looking good. There's the final out of the bottom half of the 5th, and we head now to the 6th and final inning of regulation, where it'll be 4, 5, and 6 for Barboursville, namely Liam Davis, Wyatt Smith, and Matt Smith.
Yeah, I don't think they can feel comfortable. I mean, Capital Midwestern has shown a propensity, 1, to be able to put up runs in bunches. 2, the cardiac kids, we called them last night, they're not going to quit. And so even though you're up 3, I think for Barboursville, look for them. If they can get a man on, they're prone to bunt around, get him scoring position. I think they're going to play to at least get 1 or 2 more insurance runs.
For Capital Midwestern and you don't get it done, you'll look back to walks and wild pitches, because as you just saw that graphic that disappeared from the screen, that Barboursville's got 7 runs, but they only have 2 hits.
Yeah.
Here's Liam Davis, who has walked and scored and grounded to second. Looks at ball 1. Abshire has been exquisite in relief tonight.
He's done great. I mean, he's come in, he's up to 52 pitches, or 57 actually, but he has been the player of the game so far for Midwestern.
This one fouled off, and it's 1-1.
And you know, coming in, coaches have a plan, they have a pitching plan and whatnot. You know, once he got in the game, he kind of settled things down. Now, granted, they were behind a bit, but boy, he has given them a chance.
Pitch, swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. He has allowed just 2 base runners, a 1-out double by Mason Myers in the 4th, and a 1-out walk to Brooks Keaton back in the 5th. And there's a strikeout. So a good start to the 6th if you're a Capital Midwestern fan. It'll bring up Wyatt Smith, who has struck out swinging and who has popped out the 3rd. Abshire delivers, swung on, rolled to second. Played by Ramsey. No problem there. The throw a little wide, but a good job at first base by Owen Johnson to pull it down. Smith is gone, and very quickly there are 2 out.
Yeah, he reeled it in and got his foot back on the base, which completed the play.
You see, hit right to him, but the throw took Johnson to the home plate side of the first base bag, but he was able to maintain contact and make the catch for out number 2. Here's Matt Smith. Up high, ball 1. Smith has walked and scored, and he too has grounded out to Ramsey at second. Pitch, check swing, and he could not hold up. And it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Swing and a foul tip.
Blue getting a little taste of that.
Yes, sir. Abshire heading the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Barboursville did all of its damage thus far in the first 2 innings. 2 in the first, 5 in the second. They lead at 7-4. Pitch misses, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Abshire wanting confirmation of a 2-2 count. Gets it. And now he delivers the break-even pitch. And he struck him out swinging to end the inning. Great job in relief tonight by Reese Abshire for Capital Midwestern. He retires Barboursville in order again. And now we'll see if he and his teammates can come up with a big-time 6-inning rally for the 2nd consecutive night. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Barboursville 7, Capital Midwestern 4. It's the 2025 West Virginia 810 Baseball State Tournament from Video Productions.
Doesn't wait, so neither should your care. Whether it's a cough, fever, or stomach bug, Access Plus is here for those urgent moments.
From bumps and bruises to stitches and even x-rays, we've got you covered with extended hours and walk-in care for the whole family.
You do not have to be an Access Health patient to be seen. No appointments, no hassle, just quality care when you need it.
Access Health, where care meets community.
Reese Abshire punctuating his night on the hill with a strikeout of the Barboursville batter Matt Smith to end the top half of the 6th. And now we'll see if, I would say if lightning can strike twice in the same spot, but I don't want to talk about lightning here.
No, don't bring that up right now by no stretch. But, you know, Wyatt Smith trying to shut the door. But if you're Capital Midwestern, Randy, you mentioned the lineup turning over. You couldn't have a better setup with 2, 3, and 4 coming to the plate. You know, you're going to go down guns a-blazing. You've got your meat of the order coming up to try and pull out another magical finish. If you're Barboursville, you want no magical finish.
You're Wyatt Smith, you want to close it out. He's been pretty good in relief, too. They did get the 3 runs in that 1 inning, but outside of that, it'll be Espen Taylor, old ESPN himself, who is 0 for 0 with a pair of walks. They finally pulled the plug on Devo. They whipped it. They whipped it good.
I hate that. Can you name another song by Devo?
I absolutely cannot.
Would you classify them as a one-hit wonder?
I would. You know, somebody wears flower pots on their head. For those of you that don't know
You're
what
showing
we're talking,
your age a little bit.
Google them, as they say. Up high with the first pitch to Taylor, ball 1. Swung on and hit past the shortstop and into left field. It was hit hard, but it looked playable, and I don't know, it just looked like the shortstop, Payne, didn't get his glove down.
Yeah, it kind of had to go to his side just a little bit. I would give him a hit on that. That ball was really into the shortstop quickly before he had a chance to react.
There's your look at it. He hit a scorcher.
Would have been tough to throw him out anyway, I think, if he comes up clean.
So there's a leadoff single, and here's the guy who's done the job in relief on the hill, Reese Abshire, trying to get it done at the plate now. Called strike. Abshire has struck out looking. He singled in the 4th and scored one of their 3 runs. The 0-1 misses away. 1 ball, 1 strike. They'll fire down to first, and Taylor is back. Got to be smart on the bases at this point.
Yeah, 1 run means nothing. You need more than 1.
Hampshire goes down.
See, that was one of the first times that Wyatt Smith has started that breaking ball at the appropriate spot. That come right in on the inner half. You saw the batter kind of bail out a bit, and if he gets that thing moved over, it's going to be hard to deal with because he's been off the plate to the inside.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Pitch up high, 2-2.
And tried to breaking ball again, left it too high, didn't pull it, didn't snap his wrist and bring it down.
2-2 on the way. Swing and a miss. Hampshire chased one up in his eyes and came up empty. And he's a strikeout victim, and that's out number 1 here in the 6th. Here's a look at it. That was actually a look at the play that he bailed on, or the pitch that he bailed on a couple of pitches before striking out. Here's Owen Johnson. He too ducking.
Yeah, and that's barely off the inside part of the plate. That's a nice breaking ball, but it's kind of coming around the plate again. If Wyatt Smith moves that over, very devastating pitch.
The 1-0 misses 2-0. That looked really good from our vantage point.
Wow.
2 balls and no strikes. Pitch. Swung on and popped up. Behind the second base bag, it is the shortstop, Payne, who makes the catch. And Capital Midwestern down to its final out. Jacob Enoch, who has struck out swinging, walked and scored. The hopes rests on his shoulders.
Yeah, and if you're Barboursville, you want to get very deep in the infield. All you got to do is knock the ball down, and you got to force out at second base if needed. So you want to cover as much ground as possible, so you want to play back.
But third baseman plays even with the bag.
I would probably move him back. I'd just cover the baseline. First and third, I think, should be covering the line. Don't give up extra base hit.
Swung on and popped up into shallow left. The shortstop backing and the shortstop Payne catching, and that's the ball game. In the 6th for Capital Midwestern, no runs a hit, no errors. They leave 1. And your final score tonight, Barboursville defeats Capital Midwestern. Good ball game. Started out, looked like it was going to be a rout, but Capital Midwestern making a game of it, and they finished with a 7-4 loss. 7 runs on just 2 hits for Barboursville, 1 error. Capital Midwestern 4, 5, and 3. Here's a look at the final out of the ball game as you see the shortstop Payne go out along the left field line and make the catch. So with the win, it's an all District 1 semifinal to begin the night. Tomorrow night it will be Barboursville and Cerrito Canova, and Rick Marone, this place will probably be crawling tomorrow night.
Yeah, there'll be a big crowd, a lot of interest there, but we want to pause, take this Capital Midwestern team. I'm totally impressed with them. Yesterday they kind of spun their wheels for the biggest part of the game against Madison. Were really outplayed, never quit, finished the game, got the win, had to turn around and come back again tonight against a solid Barboursville team, got down early. But I tell you what, you learn a lot about, as Mike Tyson used to say, after you get punched in the face, you figure out if you got a plan or not. They had a plan. They made the pitching change, and Abshire come in, did a wonderful job. If you take, you can't take it away, but those first 2 innings, if you set those aside, Capital Midwestern really even or got the upside of it. So give them all the kudos in the world. Barboursville shows that grit and experience and tradition. They lost a close game to end up in the loser's bracket. It would be easy to, say, woe is me. You don't think they're chomping at the bit, ready to play CK tomorrow night. As you mentioned, District 1 foes. And a lot of history in that matchup. So that is a wonderful matchup. And, by the way, Bridgeport and Jefferson might be a good game too.
I was going to say, we're down to the final 4 teams in the tournament. And, boy, you talk about 4 year in, year out great teams. that's what you're going to see tomorrow night.
Well, it's single elimination. It's I don't want to say winner take all because you got a championship game on Thursday, but everything, including the kitchen sink, will be in play tomorrow night. I think all arms that are available that are not ineligible due to the pitching rules will be ready to roll because all four of those teams, they're wanting one thing. They want a state championship. I tell you what, those don't come along very often, and there's 4 teams left standing in the 8 to 10 division in the whole state of West Virginia, and it's great. It's going to be settled on the field. I think we got 2 tremendous matchups tomorrow night, and then the championship game you can only imagine. But I'm excited about tomorrow night. I think it'll be a huge, should I say, raucous crowd.
I would think so.
I think there'll be a lot of juice in the stadium, as they say, and hopefully folks can come out and enjoy it in person. But boy, if you can't get out, spread the word around. Video Productions, place to stop to check out some great baseball action tomorrow night.
And we can tell folks, yes, you and I, the dynamic duo, as we've been referred to by some.
You?
Well, no, by your sister. We'll be here tomorrow night to have the call. Again, the schedule, 5:30 game is Sarita Canova and Barboursville in one semifinal, and then we follow that up with Bridgeport and Jefferson 30 minutes after the conclusion of the first game, and we will start, I guess we'll roll video about 5:25 tomorrow night from right here at Huntington Little League. We appreciate the work of our engineer tonight, Corey Boggs, of course, the man that makes it all go, Butch Mounts, and appreciate those of you that could not be out, and you did follow us tonight here on Video Productions, be it Facebook or YouTube or wherever the case might be, and we look to have you back with us again tomorrow night as we we'll play 2 semifinal games, and we'll find out who will play for the championship on Thursday. Again, your final score here in Game 2, Barboursville defeats Capital Midwestern 7-4. For Rick Marone, Randy Payton saying so long from Huntington Little League here in Huntington, West Virginia. And we remind you that this has been the 2025 West Virginia 8-10 Baseball State Tournament from Video Productions. We'll talk with you tomorrow night. Until then, so long, everybody.